everyone, it's Kai and welcome back to the channel. Today's look is a character, Poison Ivy from Batman. I kind of went for a mixture between the cartoon version and the Uma Thurman version. Of course, I added my own twist, as always, but if you want to see how I created this look, just keep on watching. So to start off, we're going to style this hair Uma Thurman style with these two cones at the top. So I take a strand from the body of the hair and I tease it at the roots to give it some volume. And then I take the ends of the strand and I start to wrap it around itself. And then it's gonna look kind of pathetic because it's just like a single strand of hair. So I take more strands from around it and then I wrap it around the cone, mostly keeping it around the base so that it's thicker at the bottom, and I just secure it with bobby pins. For the top, I took this thrift store dress and I sewed on some fake leaves that I ripped off of dollar store flowers. I initially was going to sew each one on individually, but then I decided to just use hot glue because it was a lot faster. Except I tried to glue the leaves to each other rather than onto the dress. That way it would protect the dress from getting ruined while still holding all the leaves together. However, at the end, I had to use my needle and thread again to sew on the key areas like around the edges so that it would all stay on the top. I'll do more costuming tutorials when I'm like better at it, but let's do what I'm actually good at, which is the makeup. And I start by gluing down the brows with Pros-aide and then brushing them flat. And then once they're dry, I powder them and cover them with full coverage foundation, and then you'll see after this step, the face just becomes a blank canvas for us to paint whatever we want on it. And then I just set the face with powder, and also I start to create my dimension with some bronzing powder. I did one eye off camera, but to start the eye makeup, I'm now creating my brow highlight with white. For eyeshadow, I'm dipping into my Suva Beauty Cupcakes and Monsters palette, and I'm taking that green shade all throughout the eye socket and the lower lash line with a fluffy brush to start off this green smoky eye. On the lid, I'm using Makeup Geek's Envy, which is dark emerald green, and then to really make it pop, I used a Makeup Geek pigment called Utopia over top, and it makes this kind of glittery olive gold color, which I also take into the inner tear duct. Next, I do my winged eyeliner, and then I smoke out the corner into the crease, blending it into the green just by like stippling them together with the black. And then I also add darkness to the outer half of the lower lash line just so it kind of matches the kind of vibe of the upper lid. And then I'm applying my false lashes, and I also added white eyeliner to the waterline off camera. For the brows, I'm using this reddish brown eyeshadow. This is Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear eyeshadow. It's my go-to color for when I do red hair. By the way, if you didn't already know this, I actually have an affiliate link with Makeup Geek. They have some of my favorite eyeshadows. I use them all the time in my videos. And if you actually shop from the link in my description, I get a small little commission, so I always appreciate whenever anybody uses those links. But anyway, next I put in these green lenses from Pinky Paradise to enhance the whole look, but you can just do a natural eye since the green makeup already adds that kind of Poison Ivy vibe. But for blush, I'm actually using the red eyeshadow from that Suva palette. It might look a little intimidating because it's like red, like clown red, but it's actually a great color that looks really good on darker skin especially, and it's a lot less intimidating if you applied it with a fluffy brush. And I also put a little bit on the tip of the nose just so it looks a little more rosy and innocent. And then I decided to add freckles. I don't know why I thought Poison Ivy had freckles, but I just looked up a picture of her and I guess she doesn't. I think it's just because a lot of redheads have freckles, I guess. A lot of YouTubers I see actually just dot on their freckles with a brush, and that can look kind of fake, but I found it looks a lot more realistic if you use a stipple sponge because it makes the freckles much smaller and more realistic. It's a tool that's normally used for adding texture like blood splatters and mud, but it's also great for this technique. And I just mixed some brown cream paint with a little bit of red, and I just stippled this onto my face, but first I stippled it onto my hand so that when I did it on my face, it would be more sheer and subtle since most of the product went onto my hand. And I do this all the way from cheek to cheek, especially going over that nose. And then I use a small paintbrush to add a couple of little larger dots here and there for some accents so that all the freckles are kind of different sizes. Finally, on the lips, I'm using NYX's Liquid Suede in Cherry Skies, which is a deep red. But I kind of think Poison Ivy should have kind of a brighter lip to match the bright red hair, so I used a bright red lip gloss over top, and this is also from NYX. Just adding some finishing touches here, I found that my edges could have been a little bit darker, so I added more bronzer around the hairline. And then it came time to put on my hair, and unlike my other wigs, the way I styled this one made the hairline very exposed. Like the hair from my bangs wouldn't be able to hide the hairline, so I had to glue down the lace just so it would all look okay. And with that being said, that's the finished look, you guys. Here it is with the costume and all. I really like this makeup. I was gonna go with like leaves around the eyes like Uma Thurman, but I didn't like the way that looked on me when I tried it on, but I'm happy with how it turned out actually. There was a little bit of doubt in the middle there. But I hope you guys liked it as much as I did. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!